2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I would like to start off this evening by thanking the members of the board and senior administration for honoring the Bolingbrook cheer program this evening. We wouldn't have been able to achieve such an accomplishment if it were not for the support of our building administration, including Principal Dr. Pascavage and Assistant Principal for Athletics and Activities, Mr. Rob Rose. I'd also like to thank my assistant coaches, Ariel Stuslav and Stephanie Varner. When my baby boy decided to come 3 weeks early, smack dab in the middle of this impromptu 5-week cheer season, they stepped up and made sure things went on accordingly in my absence. I'd also like to send a huge thank you to Romeoville's head cheer coach, Chrissy Kinder, for supporting the Raiders and helping out at practice when I couldn't be there. The Raiders are so lucky to have her support. I know that all sports can say they had a very challenging year due to this pandemic, and cheer was no exception. The uncertainty of knowing if there would be a season, when that season would take place, what parts of our sport would still be included, and so many other unknowns that we couldn't even begin to prepare for was very challenging. However, unlike other sports, cheer and dance were actually given the green light to begin in November. We had our tryouts, we made our teams, and started choreography, only to have our season put on an indefinite pause 4 short days later. That was a tremendous challenge for cheer and dance teams across the state. Many programs continued to have their athletes meet virtually or at outside locations to partake in team tumbling classes, etc. Our cheer program, however, did not take that route. We really didn't believe that we'd be having a cheer season. We just thought we were waiting for the IHSA to make the announcement that it had been canceled. Most of our athletes went on to get jobs, second jobs, join all-star cheer programs, etc. So we stopped planning for a season that we were for sure was not going to happen. When we got the green light for a competitive season, many of our athletes were hesitant to come back. They didn't want to lose the jobs that they had just been working at for the last 2 months. Many of them were nervous that their bodies were going to be able to handle the standards that we were going to have to uphold them to still be competitive. They didn't think that they'd be able to stay on par after so long off. We had to figure out a way to work around their schedules with work, get back in shape, and still maintain our competitive edge. Coming into this year, last year, the Bolingbrook cheer team got 11th at state, just shy of making the top 10. So we had a name to uphold, and the athletes knew it, and they were scared to have to be able to live up to that standard. It was a challenge to say the least, but these athletes pulled it off. Every single one of them gave their entire all at practice, but the team above all else, knowing that we only had 5 weeks to get where we wanted to be. Our competitive season is normally 5.5 months long, so we knew it would be a challenge to do what we normally do in 5.5 months in 5 weeks. But they did it, and we are so proud of them and their placement at state. Top 15 out of over 60 co-ed teams in the state is a huge accomplishment, and we hope they are as proud of themselves as we are of them. Now, here to introduce themselves are the members of the 2021 state qualifying Bolingbrook cheer competition team.
Elijah Brutus, senior.
Haley Engelman, and a junior.
Elizabeth Flores, senior.
Katrina Gates, sophomore.
Kaya Guilford, sophomore.
Lauren Mitchell, sophomore.
Becca Pena, senior.
Emily Pena, senior.
Sydney Provo, senior.
Delaney Schaefer, junior. Faith Smith, junior.
Hannah Stoll, senior.
We coming for who? We coming for who? We coming for you. We coming for you. I don't dance now, I make money moves. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you and I don't speak, that means I don't mess with you. I'm a boss, you a broker punk. I make money moves.
It's not about redemption, it's about respect. I ain't got no tension, I'm not a threat.
I woke up like this, I woke up like this. We flawless. Ladies, tell them I woke up like this, I woke up like this. We flawless. Ladies, no, this ain't a game, yeah. They gon' know our name, yeah. Don't stop, thinking about tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight. Tick tock on the clock, the party don't stop. Ladies, battle stations ready.
look at me now. Oh, I'm getting paper. Look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Yeah, fresh and I'm up.
That's why I need a one dance, got some sweet in my hand. One more time before I go, higher power's taking a hold on me. I need a one dance, got some sweet in my hand. One more time before I go, higher power's taking a hold on me.
IHS Raiders.